Hello, I'm Connor from the ConnorandLandonshow, and you are watching part 3 of my review of all my Blink-182 CDs. So, next one, this one right here that I hold in my hand, is going to be a review of the one that all I can say to Sammy Derouche from the Rock It Out blog. I disagree with you on this album. I agree with you on some things, but I think this is my fourth favorite Blink-182 CD of all time. It's their sixth release. It was released last year. So, let's get started. Now, this album, as I said, was released last year, and when this album came out, and I heard about this album coming out, and that Blink-182 actually came back together since their last album before this, the one that they released in 2003, which was the self-named album. When I heard that after they released that album, I was waiting and 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 waiting for a new Blink-182 album to come out. And then I heard Blink-182 had gone their separate ways and they broke up. But actually, it turned out they were going on a hiatus. So, yeah. 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11. 8 years after their self-named album, back in actually 2010, so 7 years after their self-named album came out, I heard that Blink-182 was working on some new stuff, and I got pumped up, and I was ready for a new Blink-182 album to come out. And then I heard the song Up All Night, and most people don't like that song off there, but it's actually my third favorite song off this new album. So the song Up All Night, I actually like that song. Even though Tom DeLonge's voice, if you listen to the first album, Just Iron Cat, and then you compare it to Neighborhoods, and you compare it to a song like Up All Night, and then you compare it to a song like How's My Breath Smell, or What's My Breath Smell Like? I don't know what the song is called, I forgot. But if you compare those two songs, there's a lot difference between them. And I think the older Blink-182 would actually have mixed opinions on their newer stuff. If they were back then, they listened to this. So yeah, this song, I think this album is still good. It's my fourth favorite album of all time. It's just that I'm gonna go into the track listing on this album because I'll go into detail about those songs. The track listing is Ghost on the Dance Floor, Natives, Up All Night, After Midnight, Hearts All Gone, Wishing Well, Kaleidoscope, This Is Home, MH 418, 2011, and Love Is Dangerous. Some songs off of this album are really really good, and some of them are, they're mixed opinions on some people. If I were to pick my top 5 favorite songs off here, it would be Ghost on the Dance Floor, Up All Night, After Midnight, Hearts All Gone, and This Is Home. Those are my top 5 favorite tracks off this album, and some honorable mentions are Natives and the rest of the album. This album is really really good. It's just that, well, I got the one that the shorter one, I think the shorter one off of iTunes, the one that doesn't have Snake Charmer and all those songs. So basically I got the 10 track one, not the 12. So on to what I think about this album. Since this is a special album, I'm actually going to do something I've never done on a CD review. I'm going to do a pro-con about this album. The pros is that they have really really good songs off here. And like the song, my favorite songs, Ghost on the Dance Floor, I think that was a good start off because it brought me back to when I was listening to my the Enema of the State when I was listening to it in my dad's car when I was littler. It was bringing me back to those days, and like it kind of sounds like an older Blink-182 song, yet a newer one at the same time. And then tracks like Up All Night, that song, I didn't like it first, but then when I started listening to it, I liked it a lot. And After Midnight, I think that opening drum lick, since I kind of learned how to play it, I think starting off that song with that drum lick was like a key thing to what that song's supposed to be about, because that song was better when they put if they didn't have that opening drum lick in there, I think the song would be still good, just not as good as it is, because that opening drum lick and the drum lick through the entire song is really good. And another song, Hearts All Gone, that's my third favorite fourth favorite song off this album. Um, the way that Travis Barker plays in that song, how he plays his drum blistering fast. Like if I were to try to play hit that song like Travis does in that song, I'd probably break my hands off because that is way too fast. So yeah, and those are probably all the pros about this album. That the songwriting and the songs are really good. On to the cons. Okay, the first con I have with this album is some of the songs are a little too slow for me. Like songs like Natives and Wishing Well and Love is Dangerous. Those songs don't really sound like a Blink-182 song. So like Natives sounds like a Blink-182 song, but Love is Dangerous and Wishing Well, they kind of sound like Angels and Airwaves song. I'm a really big fan of Angels and Airwaves, but they kind of sound like that, not really about a not really a Blink-182 song. So those are some cons about it. And another con I have, I thought that this was actually a pretty good thing at first, but now that I think about it, it's not. Tom DeLonge's singing voice is okay, but it's like it sounds good on the album, but when he plays live, Blink-182, like Mark Hoppus when he plays live, he's awesome. So is Travis. But when Tom DeLonge plays live, the way that he sings is horrible and it's awful and it makes me want to puke. But that's why I like it. It's weird how I think that Tom DeLonge's voice in this new album is horrid and disgusting and dumb, but that's why it's so good. Like, it's bad, it's awful, but it's awesome at the same time. So I barely have anything left to say about this album. If I were to rate this album 1 through 10, I'd probably give it a 9.7 out of 10. So yeah, that's basically my probably longest review ever of Blink-182's Neighborhoods. Like this video if you like this video, and 3, 2, 1, I'm done. Subscribe.